Metaland, where dreams collide. Luminous shining, can't you feel the vibe? A world of wonder.
All right, so we're diving into this Metaland thing and their MXA coin. You got a whole stack of info here.
Yeah, it seems like they're onto something kind of different.
It really does. I mean, is it a learning platform? Is it all about NFTs?
It's like they're blending it all together, which is interesting.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to try to unpack today.
It's pretty fascinating, honestly. The timing of it all is spot on, too. You know, we've seen how much interest there is in blockchain these days.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Especially with younger generations.
It's true. I remember when I first tried to learn about blockchain, it felt impossible.
Right. Like you needed a whole other dictionary just to understand the words they were using.
Exactly. So making it more accessible for people who aren't already tech experts makes a lot of sense.
Especially for younger audiences.
Totally.
Yeah.
So how is Metaland making it more accessible?
Well, they want to be the place for learning about blockchain. But they're doing it in a smart way. We're talking digital books, games, even animated series, all designed to make learning about blockchain actually fun.
Okay, wait. Fun and education together. Sometimes I get a little skeptical.
I hear you. But think about it this way. When we were kids, we had educational TV shows, right?
Yep.
Games that taught us stuff without us even realizing it.
That's true.
Metaland is taking that same approach, but they're using NFTs as a tool.
Like those NFT digital books they've got going on. That's a pretty cool concept.
Right. You're not just reading the book, you own a piece of the experience.
And I'm seeing here that owning those NFTs could come with some pretty sweet perks.
Oh yeah, for sure. Think about it like this. Early adopters, those who own those NFT books, might get access to online events, early access to new games, even play-to-earn features later on.
Okay, so they're definitely grabbing attention with the NFT stuff. But what about the actual educational content? How do they make something like blockchain make sense for someone who's still learning their multiplication tables?
That's where the animated series come in. Instead of boring lectures or confusing diagrams, they're teaching these concepts through stories with animated characters.
So they're making it relatable.
Exactly, and entertaining, especially for younger audiences.
That's pretty clever. Especially when you think about how much kids love animated shows and videos these days. It's a really smart way to make it interesting for them. So we've got the NFTs and the cool visuals, but how are they actually reaching those kids? You know, the ones who are already glued to their phones?
They're going where the kids already are. Think TikTok, YouTube, Instagram.
Ah, so they're on social media.
Exactly. But they're not just throwing up a boring educational video. They're thinking about how to make it go viral. We're talking interactive stories, game-based challenges, that kind of thing.
So they're creating a community around it.
Yeah. It's about getting young people engaged and excited about blockchain.
I could see how that would be effective.
Oh, okay.
But it's not all about social media, right? From what I'm seeing here, they're also getting involved with educational events.
Absolutely. Both virtual and physical events. They want to meet people face-to-face, let them try out the platform firsthand.
Be where the conversation is happening.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's shift gears for a second and talk about the MXA coin. That's a big part of this whole ecosystem.
It's the fuel that makes it all run.
What do you mean?
You use MXA for everything, transactions, accessing platforms, earning rewards. It's not just about buying and selling, it's about participating in the Metaland world.
So it's more like a key that unlocks everything.
Exactly. And from what I'm seeing, they're really encouraging people to hold on to those coins.
How so?
They've got some nice incentives for holders, airdrops, priority access to events. And if you're holding over 1 million MXA, you even get a share of transaction fees.
Wow, so the more you invest in the coin, the more you get out of it.
Exactly. It's a really interesting model for building a strong community.
And what about the tokenomics?
So they've got a maximum supply of 21 billion MXA with 20% allocated to the liquidity pool.
Okay, and what about control of the coin?
They've renounced the smart contract, which means they're not in control of the supply or how it's used.
So it's all about building trust and transparency.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about the coin, the educational approach. What about the future? What's next for Metaland?
They've got a pretty ambitious roadmap. They're starting with the coin launch, integrating it into all their services, and then they're going to really focus on building that community through airdrops, referral programs, that sort of thing.
Laying the groundwork.
Yeah. Then things get really interesting. We're talking staking, so holders can earn rewards for holding their coins. And then they're going to start exploring partnerships, even decentralized governance.
Wow, they're thinking long-term.
They're not messing around. They're in it for the long haul.
It's pretty ambitious.
Yeah.
So with all of this info about Metaland, their approach, this MXA coin, what's the big takeaway here?
I think the bigger picture here is that it's not just about education.
It's not.
No, it's about something much bigger. They're betting on these kids, basically.
What do you mean?
They're betting that these young learners are going to be the ones who use blockchain down the line. Actually use it, invest in it.
So they're setting out to create this whole generation of people who are comfortable with this technology.
Exactly. Think about it. Most of us, we didn't grow up with blockchain, right? We had to figure it out later on.
Totally.
But these kids, they're growing up with it.
That's a really interesting point.
If Metaland can make it engaging, make it fun, make it cool.
Which it seems like they're trying to do.
Exactly. Then they could be the ones who make blockchain just as normal as social media is for us.
It's a pretty wild thought when you put it like that.
It's a long game, for sure.
Okay, so we've talked about Metaland, their approach to blockchain education, their plans for the MXA coin, and how they're trying to bring this tech to the next generation. But as you keep digging into all this, there's one question I want to leave you with. Do you think they're right? Will blockchain be just a normal part of life for our kids like the internet is for us? Think about that. And until next time, happy diving.
Metaland, where dreams collide.